Hey guys, what's up? Back-to-back videos, pretty clutch in my opinion, but hope you enjoyed yesterday's video, and we got today's video. Today we're going to be ranking all of the Skylanders NPC species. So I tried to include as many as I could think of that made some impact on the game, and I'm not going to be ranking like trivial ones like the Yetis. I know they are there's a bit of Yetis in the game, but they don't seem to me like that was just one example that I proved is not just Yetis. But anyway, but anyone who made some specific impact on the game, or I could name a few of the different species, like prominent figures. So I guess that's how I made my list. Like that's the categories that I used for this list. And anyway, on to the ranking. Okay, so in last place, 14th place, are the fairies. So this is figures like Persephone mainly. There are other fairies that show up, like Marcia in Trap Team, and honestly, none of the fairies really do it for me. They're all kind of annoying, and I don't really like them, so that's why they find themselves in the 14th and last spot. I do like the fairies, but again, not really my favorite there as compared to the other ones, which at least have a bit, one, cooler designs, and two, are not as annoying. Okay, so next are the dragons. The reason they're low down on the list is mainly because there aren't enough of them. I mean, I could really only name Flavius and Ramses and Vathek from the Dragon's Peak Adventure Pack. I mean, I know there are other dragon figures, but again, I can't really name them. So that's why they find themselves low down on the list. Other than that, if they showed up more frequently in the series, I mean, that would be really epic, and I think they'd be way higher up on this list. So coming in at number 12 are the land sharks. This would include Sharpfin and some other characters from Swap Force who have a slight role, but none of other than Sharpfin really play a big role. So they're kind of cool. I think that their design is awesome. They're kind of like little like dwarfy sharks, and they're kind of funny. But yeah, Sharpfin is a badass. He's one of my favorite characters, and really just goes under the radar. Him in Swap Force and Superchargers is great. And yeah, all the rest of the land sharks are pretty cool too. They guide you throughout the western levels in Swap Force, and yeah, overall I think that they're pretty cool. But they don't play as huge of a role in the games, which is why they're kind of lower down on the list, like the dragons. Okay, coming in at number 11, and just a fair warning, I wasn't gonna go and record gameplay for most of these guys because one, I don't really know where half of them would show up in levels, and two, just because, like, I don't know, it's a lot of work, and when I could just put a picture up and you guys know exactly who. But anyway, coming in at number 11, that was a bit of a side note. And number 11 are the elves. The elves are throughout the entire game. I mean, we have Stealth Elf. I'm not counting Skylanders for this one, because if so, you know, Terrafin would be on the Land Sharks in the last place. But anyway, the elves, I can't really name any other significant figures other than Avril from Swap Force, but they play a big role in Swap Force in the cold levels. And yeah, the elves are pretty cool. You have Enchanted Elven Forest. That's not exactly elves, but there are some elves throughout Skylanders, and they kind of just are overall a cooler species. I think, I don't know, I like elves better than I do the rest, I guess. Okay, so in number 10, the 10th spot, are the Sea Dogs. These are mainly from pirate-themed levels, like in Skylanders Spyro's Adventure, we have Pirate Seas, and in Giants, they're in the Cutthroat Carnival. So they're kind of shysters. They're, I don't know, they're a bit like thievy and piratey, and they're really cool. I love their accents. They're not their accents, they're pirate speak, I guess. They're not accents, but anyway, yeah, that's why they find themselves here. And I'm naming notable figures, I guess, for this would be like Dreadbeard. There's all the ones from Pirate Seas, which I can't name, but mainly Dreadbeard is the biggest one of them. Okay, at number 9, we have the Spellpunks. So this is a bit of a weird pick, mainly because they're an enemy, but I figured I'd include them because they're cool, and you have figures like the Spell Slamser and Superchargers, which I think you're actually seeing gameplay for, fun fact. And you have all the elemental Spellpunks, except for Light and Dark. I don't think they did ones for them, but anyway. Spellpunks are cool. I really love that there's different ones for each element, and that's honestly why they find themselves in the top 10 here. Because other than that, they play little to no role in any of the games other than the Spell Slamser. But that's why Spellpunks are number 9. Okay, coming in at number 8 are the Williken. So these are found in Trap Team and Giants, and maybe some other games, but most notably in Trap Team and Giants. So they're Chaos made dolls that he used to basically become his friends and force them to be his friends. But they're really funny. They're a bit creepy in Giants mainly, not as much in Trap Team, but they're always a bit creepy. But the Williken are cool. They play a pretty big role in the games, and they're prominent figures. I mean, I wouldn't remember Williken Village as one of the most memorable levels in Giants, mainly because of the mechanics and the Williken coming alive and stuff like that. So it's really memorable. Okay, and number 7, we have the Skeletons. So notable figures here are T-Bone and Ribcage and some of the other Skeletones. I know T-Bone isn't a skeleton, he's from SSA, but anyway, they're at number 7 here because they're kind of funny. I mean, at least T-Bone is one of the funniest characters, and Skeletones, I think that they have a few jokes in there, but they're not all for jokes, but mainly the reason I'm putting this is because they're funny characters and they provide a good sense of humor throughout the game, especially in Skylanders Spyro's Adventure when things get a little bit darker in the undead levels, and provides a bit of humor in the darkness. Okay, at number 6 we have Trolls. So I figured I'd include these. They're also like an enemy kind of figure because they're so big. They're in every single Skylanders game. They're one of the most prominent species in the list, and that's why they're at number 6, because they're so prominent. I don't necessarily like them. I do like them. They're kind of cool. They're kind of dopey. They're kind of funny. But there's a ton of trolls. The Grenade Generals come off to mind immediately because they're impossible in Nightmare mode. And then you got all like Blaze Brewers, stuff like that. I don't know if I'm naming the correct trolls here, but anyway, we got trolls in number 6 because they're just here all the time and they play a great role in all of this, so that's why. Okay, save the hate comments. Foxes are in number 5. I know people don't like Swap Force that much with Woodburrow and Rufus. Rufus is not a fox, he's not included in here, but foxes are huge in Swap Force. Tessa's great, Chiefess is great. There's a lot of great fox characters in this game, which is why I'm putting foxes in number 5, because they just play a great role in Swap Force, and I really just wanted to reward them, kind of. I know it's not really a reward, but I'm putting them in number 5 because they play such a big role. Coming in here at number 4, we got Mölken, some of my favorites. These last 4 definitely my 4 favorites. There's definitely a big line in between here, and these are absolutely my favorites. Number 4, Mölken, no doubt. We got Diggs, basically just Diggs. I know a lot of people find Diggs annoying. I actually don't. I like Diggs. But the rest of the Mölken are funny too. They're kind of nervous little moles. All of them are blind. And yeah, they're just really funny in SSA, and I'm pretty sure they're in all the games. But they don't play as much of a role in any of the rest of the games as just SSA. They're at a lot of the front of the gates in games, like the elemental gates. And yeah, that's why Mölken are number 4, because I just think that they're overall kind of funny, and they're in a lot of the games, so yeah. Okay, and here number 3, we got the Archaeans, another enemy-based character, but not necessarily enemy-based entirely, because we got a lot of notable figures. We got Conkertron from Giants, we got the Weapon Master from SSA, and those are the only 2, but, we have such big role in Giants are the Archaeans. I mean, this is really like, you could call this game Skylanders Archaeans if it wasn't for the gimmick of Giants. I mean, really, the Archaeans are so huge in Giants, and they're also just such a cool species to include in these games. I mean, they weren't as big in SSA. They were with the Magic Source for sure. They were huge, but overall in SSA they weren't huge. And then they delved into them more in Giants, and it was awesome. And I really enjoyed it. So that's why they're going to be number 3 on this list for sure. Coming in at number 2 is kind of the dark horse pick of this list. It's the Gilman. I love the Gilman. You got Gurglefin from SSA. You got Snagglescale from Swap Force. Gilgrunt, he's a Skylander, but I'm not including him on this list. Or, not on the list, but I'm not including him in consideration with the Gilman. But anyway, the Gilman are kind of just funny. I like that they're fish, and they're walking, and I don't know. I just think they're overall pretty awesome. And there's not really a ton of explanation for it. I just like them overall. And Gurglefin is one of the funniest characters in SSA, and I don't know. Gilman are number 2. You can't really argue with that. I guess it's my list anyway. Okay, so coming in at number 1 should not surprise anybody, and I really don't even have to explain it, but we got the Mabu. We have some of the most present characters, actually the most present species out of this entire list. We have Flynn in all 6 of the games. Callie we have in most of the games, I think just not Swap Force. But anyway, we have Flynn, Callie, Snuckles, Blobbers, Nort, Rizzo, I mean all of those Mölken Mabu Defense Force. We got Buzz, Mabu as well. We have so many Mabu. I'm probably forgetting a bunch, but that just goes to show we have so many great Mabu in this series, and they're just overall the best species. I feel like it's really, I mean, of course there's always other people's opinions, but in my opinion, Mabu are definitely the best, and that's why they're number 1 on this list. And that's my list. So there are probably a lot missing, but those are the ones I can think of, so those are the ones I ranked. Don't hate on me for not ranking your favorite if it didn't show up on this list at all. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun to make, and I loved thinking of all the cool species that guided us through our journeys in Skylands. And also, I just want to give a huge thanks to King of Portals. I did see your comments. I didn't heart any of them. I'm sorry. They were great comments. I didn't see any of them. Well, I did see them. I didn't heart them. I don't know why. But you requested this video multiple times, and I appreciate it because it was really fun to make. So thank you to King of Portals. Very much. You really inspired this video. You're the reason I made this video. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you guys all later. Bye.